Yo! Good evening, gamers. Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a lovely day. My name's Mikey. Currently live on YouTube and twitch.tv/Hellstormwargaming or Mikey, respectively. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for tuning in. God, isn't today gross? Apologies, I don't know if you can hear my fan. I do have a fan on, just pointed at me because it's so hot. I was like, do I have to turn the studio lights on? Can I leave them off? Let's have a look. Let me try. What, can I leave them off? No, I can't stream like this. This is ridiculous. I was like, yo, can I leave them off? That'd be so sick. But no. So come in, say hi, let me know who's watching, let me know who's how things are. What are the goofs? What are the gas? How was your weekend? Have you been back at work today? Has it been absolutely gross? Has it been good? Out of 10? What are the vibes today, chat? What are the vibes today, chat? Out of 10. I hope you had a nice weekend. I had a very up and down weekend. That's for sure. I had an up and down weekend for sure. I got quite a lot of work done, which was cool. And then I got quite a lot of Elden Ring Night Rain done, which was also cool. But oh my god, yesterday, oh my goodness, bro. Bro, I almost got bankrupt. I almost got bankrupt, bro. So, this weekend, you know I have 2 cats, right? You stop calling me a grubby little man. Stop calling me a grubby little man. I don't appreciate it. Let me just post I've gone live, and then I'll tell you what happened. Grubby little man is live. One second. Just tell everyone that I've gone live. Talking about Torrent Train Bad and story time. Stop calling me a grubby little man. You've got out your system now. Yeah, fucking hell. You know, I've got 2 cats, right? I've got Cloud, the girl, and Inky, the boy. Black cat. Beautiful boy. Do you want to see a picture? He's downstairs sleeping. I can't bring him to show you. I'll show you a picture, though. I'll show you a picture. There he is. What a boy. Look at him. Look at him. King of the castle. Look at that cat. Look at him. Isn't he a perfect specimen of a black cat? What a boy. Look at him. Anyway, yesterday we're chilling. I'm having a little steady morning. You know how it is. I'm playing some games. I'm chilling. Slanesh, welcome to the boys club. Welcome in. Thanks for becoming a member. Thanks for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. We've got a goal of 24. If we beat 24, we'll be doing a giveaway. You can make this number go higher by super chatting, gifting, priming, subscribing, all those things. So appreciate it if you could. And I'm gonna have to tell you that I need this number to be huge today. So Inky having a great time, having some snuggles, etc. Having the best day. Papaya Pariah, holy shit! Thank you for the 14 months on our highest fucking tier, bro. 14 months at our highest tier. What a fucking lad.
14 months of membership.
Holy shit. Claps in chat for Papaya Pariah. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. What a legend. What a legend. So, anyway, yeah, Inky, having the best time. We're playing Mario Kart. He's on my lap. He's purring away, doing all the things. Okay. And then, anyway, I'm doing something else, getting myself a drink. I hear like a cat, right? And it's like Cloud, and she's like snapped at him. She's like, you know? And then I'm like, Inky's like running all over. He's having the best day. He's got the biggest zoom known to man. He's zooming everywhere. He's meowing at the ceiling. They're running around everywhere. Anyway, long story short, I'll speed up the process. Essentially, perfectly fine during the day. After that, though, he's like walking around the house like this. And he's like... And I'm like, that's a bit weird. Why is he doing that? So I have a look at his eye, and I'm like, yeah, lad, let's have a look. And he's like, it's perfectly fine for all I can see. Anyway, pop out, pop to the shop, get some bits and bobs. Come back. He's like, I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are, Winky? You know? I start calling him Winky the cat. I was like, what are you winking at me for? I have another look and he's fine. Okay. He's fine. So I go back and do some work and stuff like that. I check on him every so often. His eyes still closed, but nothing weird. Right? And he got to like 4 o'clock, checked him again. Fine. Anyway, you can actually see in the Discord. You can actually see in the Discord, if you remember, in video games. Where was it? Where was it? Yo, Big C, Deathwatch, are you up to much? Okay. I'm like, are you up to much, guys? Want to play some Night Rain? Anyway, I go downstairs. I check on Inky and get myself a drink before I play. Check on Inky, make sure he's all right. His eyes still shut, but chat, it was fucked. Chat, it was fucked. His eye, it was like this, and his eyelid was like the other way. His eyelid was like a fucking, it's like this, like in terms of like swelling. I was like, holy fuck, what has he done, bro? What has happened? So I have a look, and it looks a bit weird, you know, like he's a third eyelid, bit gross. Sorry if you've got a squeamish eye, squeamish about eyes. You're not gonna like the next 30 seconds or so. Anyway, call the vet. Vet's shut because it's Sunday evening, so I have to phone emergency vet. And they're like, yeah, bring him in. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Let me know where to go. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's going to be an hours fee. And I'm like, I don't care. You just told me it's an emergency. So we take the cat in, take him in. She has a look, and she's like, he's got an eye ulcer. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. But she's like, actually, he hasn't got an eye ulcer. I was like, oh, okay. And she has another look. She put some weird dye in his eye. Okay. He put some weird dye in his eye. £160 just for the consultation. Bro, I fucking wish. She put some dye in his eyeball. All right. And then they like shine a torch on his eye. And then there's like, I don't, if you've got a pet, you know, if you got a pet, there's some fucking crazy shit, right? They put ink in his eye, inky in the inky eye, and then it like, they like leave it a second, and then it shows up if you sort of scratch on it. Anyway, top of his eyeball, big fucking green line appears, and she's like, he scratched it, and I'm like, oh, bro. 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 Are you kidding? So he's got a big scratch on his eye, and she's like, I was like, he's got a sister, and they had a little scrap earlier, and she's like, she might have caught him. And I'm like, ugh, rip. Rip. So he's walking around like this, pretty fine, clearly in discomfort. So we're like, okay, what do we need to do? Got some eye drops, etc., yada yada. Had some painkillers on the day. Oh, chat. £302 for the call out. And it wasn't even a call out. I had to take him in. £302 just to see the vet. The medication was on top, chat. It was like 410 quid or something. Bro, I'm so scared. I'll read what it says. Because she was very nice, don't get me wrong. She was very, very nice. But it says something like, let me look at the invoice. I can't show it yet. I can show you a little bit. It says, one consultation and out-of-hours fee covers the veterinary surgeon's professional time and includes a full clinical examination where appropriate. The out-of-hours fee comprises of 75% of this cost. You can see... Why has it got my address on there? No. Mike, thank you for the gifted. Bro, you can fucking see the price. You can see the price.
Gifted member.
For fucking out-of-hours fee. The £300 one on the bottom. Bruh. Bruh, dude. Oh my goodness. Cats are so expensive. Don't get a cat. Can you reclaim pet insurance? No, because it's out of hours. It's not covered. It's not even covered, so I can't even claim it back. Actually savage. Actually fucking savage. Thank you for the gifted. Anyway, chat, if you want to gift some memberships today, you want to do some super chats, you know where it is. You know where it is, because fuck me, cats are expensive, bro. My dad does architecture for veterinary surgery. Best job he's done. I bet. Fucking rolling in it. Brian! Sorry. Steelman. Thank you for the gifted to Brian. Appreciate you, dude. What a fucking legend.
Gifted member.
What a fucking legend. That could have bought a lot of 40k that continues not to send you. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That's why you wait till Monday morning. Bro, I actually considered it. But I was like, bro, he's my fucking cat and his eyes gone weird. I was like, you know what's going to be more expensive than waiting till tomorrow and potentially saving money?
Mikey! Super chat.
Yo, thanks for the 5.99.
Get well soon, Inky.
Thank you so much, you're a fucking legend. Jokes aside, does make a huge difference. Had to pay £400 for him to tell him he's got a scratch in his eye. Yeah, you know what's more expensive than going on a Sunday night to a vet? Having to go Monday morning, them telling us it's infected and it needs an operation. You know? You know? That does suddenly £400 doesn't sound so expensive when they has to have a huge operation due to not misconduct, being a cunt about your cat. Being a cunt about your cat. So yeah, no, he's walking around like this, and then he gets like anesthetic, and he's like all evening. Very funny, but fuck me. So now I'm covered in cat scratches because we have to give him eye drops every few hours. And he hates it. He does not love it at all. I've got a scratch here. I've got scratches like here on my arm. Just from like trying to hold him so he could like get the eye drops in. Fuck me, what a nightmare. He's very fine straight afterwards. Like as soon as it's done, he's purring away. But goddamn, does he not? He does not love when we're like, "Hi, Inky, come here, boy." He's like, "No, I'm off, boys. I'm off. I'm under the sofa. I'm out." Anyway, is George going to manage over the weekend? Yeah, literally he should be fine by Friday. So we've got to take him for a checkup on Wednesday, I think. We're going to take him for a checkup on Wednesday, but she was like, if it's any worse tomorrow, is in today. If any worse Monday, bring him in. And he's been fucking fine today. He's not even like fidgeted with it. So we're really glad we took him in. The vet was like, it's the best thing to do, but it's just like, oh my God. Oh my God. My under-a-year-old dog woke up one morning with a limp, normally a hyper little speak freak. She might be a little orc. Cute. Well, I sure took her in that morning and was scared for her. Ultimately told us nothing to do, nothing wrong, just let her rest. Yeah, but you'd rather like a professional say, yo, your dog's fine. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend, I'd never want to spend 500 quid on fucking an hour in the evening. Sunday afternoon, what are you going to do? I'm going to play Night Rain, I'm going to go spend 400 quid. You know what I mean? I'd rather play Night Rain. But like, you know, there's priorities. I'd rather go spend 400 quid and be told he's fine, and then just be like, fucking bastard. then not do it, go the next day, save myself some money, but then my cat's in like discomfort all night, you know what I mean? Like, I do not care. I will just find the money from somewhere. The cat's health is my priority, you know? Thanks, Flawless Blade Kit Bash vid. I made a tree with the Astartes Marines paint set. Oh, nice. Kind of sick. And glad it helped. Appreciate it. I actually have another video like that coming out soon. Death Guard players get put on alerts. I would if I were you. Honestly, the worst part about pets getting unwell is that you want them to understand it'll be you want them to understand it'll be okay eventually. Yeah, it's hard to like it's hard because they don't understand what's going on. They don't know why you're like pinning them down. Pinning them down and holding their eyeball open like this. They don't understand, you know. So yeah, it's tough. Most vets charge you for a peace of mind. Yeah. And it's one of those. It's a bit of a lucrative business, but yeah, the fucking, if a cat can't tell you it fucking hurts, you've got to go and pay it. You know what I mean? If you got a kid, you just go, does your eye hurt? And he goes, yeah. And you go, how much? And he's like, I am crying. You go, okay, well, maybe we'll go to the hospital. If he's like, it's itchy, I'll be like, okay, we can wait a bit, you know? Bit of fresh water, squirt it in, sorted. But it's a fucking animal. You can't ask him, can you? Such a responsible adult / cat nerd. Thanks. Appreciate it. You know, if you get a cat or a pet, you know, you've got some, you got work to do, basically. You've got to look after him. So yeah, anyway, Inky's fine. It's just fucking... it's just fucking so expensive. He's an expensive boy. I got him 400 for an emergency visit. Yeah, that's what my fucking jaw dropped when I was on the phone yesterday. It was fucking on the phone. I was like, I just like had to like, I was doing the millennial thing of being on the phone like this, not like this, like Gen Zs do. Because you know, Jack, have you ever seen that phenomenon? You know, you seen that phenomenon? Anyone born like 2000s or earlier mimes a phone like this to represent you holding an old phone. If you're like Gen Z, they hold phones like this, so they mime phones like this. You know, millennial miming putting the phone down, put it on the hanger. Gen Z, that's how you put the phone down. And as fucking sounds crazy, but it's like, when was the last time you picked up a phone, put it to your ear like this, and then put it on the fucking hanger? Glass shatter moment, you are all so fucking welcome. You're all so fucking welcome. Vets are fucking mugs. Why are vets mugs? No casino Saturday. Bro, I'm going to get a £400 loan and then I'm going to gamble it on the red. Right? Because then if I win, free vet trip. If I lose, well, I just gamble again. That's how it works. You just gamble double the amount until you win. Obviously. What are the chances of it never coming up your colour? Yo, Stein, thanks for the 10 euros, dude. What fucking legend.
Pence. What we do for our pets.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I'm trying to catch up with chat. Excuse me. My daughter would lay there with broken bones on their tablets and say it's fine. Autism is a funny thing. Cheaper as well. You know what I mean? Don't cost anything. In the UK, anyway. I kind of felt like I kind of felt like I was in America for a moment. I was having to like pay for healthcare for a cat, and it was kind of expensive. But I dread to think how expensive it'd be in the US. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pain? Meow. It's difficult to tell a cat I love you, but please don't scratch your eye. It costs me 400 quid a time. Yeah, literally. Next time I'm like, right, it's Friday, lads. Get it out of your system now before the weekend. At the weekend, you're getting split up. Hey, why is the save icon in computer app still an old floppy disk? Yeah, it's a save icon. It's not a floppy disk. What's a floppy disk? I'm an adult with a landline in my office. Do you use it, though? Well, if you hit the table limit, I won't, because I'll already win and I've gone. Paid my debts off. Sorted. Imagine miming hanging up by pushing a button. I can't even hang it up on the hanger. Yeah, but they've never used it. You know? You know, he's never used it. Why would anyone hold a phone like this if they've never used a phone like this? You know? And also, what does this represent the phone, or does it how you hold it? Because I hold it like a Chad. I hold it with like the little finger like that. I don't have my thumb up. Sometimes I hold it with just my thumb, or when I used to, and then loose with these fingers, you know? How do you hold an old phone? How did Gen Z hold an old phone? They don't know, bro, because they've never held one. They've never held one. They'll never cut you on a colour if you don't bet on it. Niall, true, bro. True. Holding the phone like a delicate cup of tea. Yeah, literally. My cat fell over and started fitting one Sunday morning. Rang the vets who quoted £400. 30 minutes later, he was okay again, so I didn't go. Yeah, jokes aside, we phoned them. They told it was £302 for the consultation. It doesn't include medication. I was like... And we both got ready to go out. You know, before we put Inky in his box, we were like, I was like, Georgie, let's take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Is it that serious that we need to go tonight? We can't wait till tomorrow. And then she was like, if you phoned to ask them if it's an emergency, it's probably an emergency. And I was like, God, what a based woman. What an absolute based woman. She just knows shit, doesn't she? She just knows shit sometimes. And I was like, yeah, you're so right. If I'm panicking, there's clearly an issue. It represents a phone. Do you think this represents the phone? Do you think? I always think it represents one of those phones with like the flip out plastic at the bottom, you know? With like the plastic cover at the bottom. Old mobile. Plastic flip out. Papaya! Dude, holy shit. Thank you for the 10 gifted bro.
Winners.
Holy shit. Holy shit. What a boy. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted. That is a fucking legendary shit. Be like Papaya. Thank you so much. I'm going to add up an extra 9 on this. So actually it's 16. If we do hit 25, I will still do a giveaway. But thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. What fucking 10 gifted. Holy shit. Holy fuck balls. Yeah, this is what I think of when I mime a phone. You know? This bit is the plastic that sticks out. This is the antenna. But then you go like this. Fucking hell. Well, legend. Shout out to Papaya. What a fucking boy. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Where was I? I think that's the phone. I think they still make plastic kids' toys with a rotary dial phone piece. Should it all be part of children's childhood? I don't think it is. Mobile phone toy. Are they not just smartphones now? Bro, they're just fucking smartphones. It's just the fucking buttons on the screen. Yeah, you got those ones. But like, toy phone. There's another comment that made me laugh that I was just read. My younger co-workers don't know what the phones for you gesture was when I did it. I felt so out of touch. Oh, bro. How'd it go? Was it phones for you or something like that? Something like that. I'm just at that age. I also said We Tip Sport Inky. Hope you get it. Bro, you're a fucking boy. Bro, thank you so much. I don't know what link space is, but I did get it. Thank you so much, dude. You're a fucking legend. Thank you. Papaya just said it's 50 quid. What a fucking... And 10 gifted. Holy shit. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate it. That's fucking legendary shit, dude. Honestly. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, everyone. Obviously, Papaya sending fucking 10 gifted is obviously huge. But thank you, everyone. Collectively, that's very generous. I was jokingly asking, but, you know, it does all make a difference. Every single penny makes a difference, so thank you. I just asked my kids, and my kids right. They did what he said they would. I'm old. You know? If you got a kid, you know, especially if they're like, or like a young, even like a young co-worker, like young, like 20s, like early 20s, ask them how they answer a phone. They don't do this. They go like this. There's a few like that. I've seen a few of them. I'm just trying to think of another one. There's something else. It's mostly to do with phones, to be honest. Mostly to do with phones. Starting a car is another one. How do you mime starting a car? How do they mime start a car? You know? Oh, heart sign, yeah. Opening a car window, yeah, car window. Car window and heart signs. So how do you open a car window? When was the last time you did this to a car window, chat? When was the last time you did that to a car window like this? You haven't done it in fucking 10 years, bro. And you open a car window? And you shut a car window? Yesterday, Justice, where do you live, bro? Do you live in the 1960s? What are you doing to your car to make that gesture? And then it's hearts, you know? If we did a heart, we'd do this, you know? But Gen Z would do this. And I still don't get this one. I still don't get that one. That's the one I don't I don't understand this one. It's very K-pop. Yeah, it's very K-pop. There's another one as well. Can't think of it. Don't know. Anyway, do you all feel old yet? I drive a paid-off 2013 Sonic. Bro, I don't know what a Sonic is, but my car is from 2013. Okay, doxed. And it has electric windows. And it doesn't have a landline in it either. It's too hot where justice is for electric windows. It must be. It must be. Fucking hell. You know what's funny being poor growing up? Every time I get in the car that's electric windows, I think it's well posh, even though they've been pretty much bog standard for 20 years. If not longer, maybe 25 years. Like 2000s electric windows is a thing, right? So yeah, if you got young people around you, a young kid, like a cousin, a niece or nephew, ask them that. Ask them that. How do you answer a phone? How do you hang up a phone? How do you put down a car window? How do you start a car? Mime it. It's very funny. I don't have a car kit for my phone in my car. What do you mean a car? What's a car kit? Am I boomer? What's a car kit? What's a car? Do you mean like a Apple car phone or whatever? I don't have that either. I've got Bluetooth and that's all I need. I got Bluetooth and USB. Where you call over the radio speakers. Oh, you mean hands-free? Right, you need hands-free. What do you mean you can't watch Subway Surfers on your car central screen? I was thinking about converting my car and putting a CarPlay thing in, but I can't be asked. There's every part of me still gets in the car, sees electric window on a on-screen dashboard. I think, ooh, fancy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like quite a few because mine is on, I think would say on like the precipice of modern car. It's like the last generation of like old car with like very traditional speedo, and then like the radio is like monochrome screen. You know what I mean? Man, never used a BMW style car phone. I should get in the back when my chauffeur's driving. That's where my car phone is. My Subway Surfers. And electric windows in the front, not in the back. Is it a 3-door? I just realized I'm not on shuffle, so I'm just playing classical music while chatting. How do you use a choke in a car? There's some sex thing. I drive a 2001 that still has everything on it. You drive a 5-door. You have a manual in the back. That's crazy. I'm like very surprised. Oh, it's a 2008. Right, okay, yeah. It is literally a 20-year-old car. It's literally a 20-year-old car. Speaking of 20 years old, chat, it's my stream birthday. Kinda. Chat, it's my kinda stream birthday. Can we get a happy birthday in chat? Happy birthday stream. Happy birthday stream. Look at this picture. This picture is from 2017. One, facial hair, much better. Hair, much better. Elliot looks much better now. Looks much better now. I look much better now. We glowed up, I would say. This picture is from the launch of 8th edition. You look 13. This is 2017. So what, 8 years ago? I was 20, 22, 20. Wow, I'm an idiot. I was 23. So close. Yo! Kayori, thanks for joining the boys club for 15 months. Happy stream birthday. Appreciate you.
Rejoined. Kiari celebrates 15 months of membership.
Thank you so much. Birthday. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So yeah, this is from, as you can see, going live now, 24 hours. Here we come. We went live for 24 hours for the launch of 8th edition. We played 8 games of 8th edition, or 7 games of 8th edition, or 7 games of Warhammer. I think we played 7th edition, and then we played 8th edition when it came out. Basically, we started streaming at 6 p.m. the night before it came out, and then we carried on playing through the night. Bro. Like me to make you feel old then. You're almost as old as me in that photo as I am now. Bro, fucking, this just shows how old I am. This is before I had a YouTube channel. This was one of my first big things that I did, and this is what kind of like solidified my love for live streaming. I've live streamed every week, at least. Oh god, I've live streamed every week since this picture. Isn't that fucking wild? Isn't that actually wild? I've been live every week for 7 years. It's far beyond like a habit now. It's far beyond a habit. But I streamed every single week. Most of those weeks, or a lot of those weeks in the 7 years, I play 40k on the channel. Isn't that cool? Someone say it's an addiction. Yeah, it's very much an addiction. Lifestyle now. I think about young cars with chokes, so it was a way of limiting the air to the engine to help start. Oh, right, okay. I used to have a motorbike with a choke. Because I used to ride a motorbike. They have still have chokes to this day, I think. I realised this weekend that I've been playing 40k in my life longer than I have. I can't put into words why, but something about your 8th edition haircut. One, insane take to call it 8th edition haircut. Insane to call this 8th edition haircut. But okay, I have had different hairstyles per editions. You know, I have had different hairstyles per editions, I will say. This was definitely 8th edition. 9th edition, I just had really long hair because we're all in lockdown. And then 10th, I've had a mullet. All right. So, yeah, I do have edition hair. Maybe that is a thing I've only just realized this second. However, but it just makes you look like you want to talk to me about crypto. Bro, this was only a few years later. I was buying ass on Pancake Swap. Only 3 years later, I was buying ass on Pancake Swap. You know. Bring back equipment points and the long. What's planned for 11th edition? Can we decide for you? Ah, bro. Enough members, maybe. Full bald for 11th edition. Bro, why would I ever go bald? I have a luscious head of hair. Why would I ever get rid of it? Bald is copium for being like, I actually think I look really cool bald. It's just, no, you just can't grow your hair anymore. That's fine. Just own it, you know? But why would I ever? Maybe I'm going to go like full bit like surfer dude hair. I've got a luscious head of hair. I'm going to keep using it, bro. It does have strong call center vibes. Yeah, a little bit. Those fucking headsets. I still have those. So we're using Turtle Beach headsets, and Elliot's got like a Bluetooth one or something. How about reverse mohawks? Shave a strip out the middle. Mohawks are embarrassing. Reverse mohawks is something else. Say one more hateful word about being bald. I'll show you every corner of the Element Games car park. We can go for a little sightsee. Okay? We can go for a little sightsee. Give me show me the coordinates. But it's okay. It's okay. Turkey's cheap, though, I will say. I did that to my brother. My brother shaved his head recently for the same reason. And I was like, you know, Turkey's not that expensive. And he was so mad. He was like, I think I actually look really good bald. And I was like, yeah, okay, bro. Yeah, fine. I'll shut up. I'll leave you alone. Love my brother. If he's happy, I'm happy. I've just had a reset. Thank you for whatever that was. I don't know what. I don't know if he's going to come through or not. I'm sure it will. I've just seen something I wanted to read. 8th edition Mikey was into NFTs and thought that Elon Musk guy must be alright. Bro, when did Iron Man 2 came out? Because, yeah, I did think he was alright, let's be honest. Yo! Walking Dead! Thank you for the 47 months, dude. We're at 19, chat. If we get on screen to 16, that's giveaway territory. Take your hair cheaper than taking your cat to a vet on Sunday. Bro, actually is. Actually probably is. 10th edition Mikey writes some checks that 12th edition Mikey's hair is going to have to cash. Yeah, true. True, dude. Very true. I'm making some promises that I don't know if I can keep. I'm trying my best though. You're doing great. You're doing great. Anyway, so I've now been threatened in chat. That's fine. I hope you're all doing well. We are going to move on to the 40k talk now. Just thought some interesting stories for you. A little story time. But I don't know if you knew, but I am going to my very first WTC event this weekend. If you didn't know, my name's Mikey, Hellstormwargaming. Thanks so much for tuning in. And this is my admittance. I've never been to a 40k team event. Isn't that crazy? Black Templar Bolko is my choice for 30th edition. So I've never been to a 40k team event. I've actually played multiple team events. At least I don't think I've been to a 40k team event. I keep saying it and I keep thinking, surely I have. Surely I have. But I actually haven't. I don't think I have. And this weekend I'm going to the Northern Warlords Summer Teams 2025. It's an event by Matt Robertson, which should be pretty fun. It's held at Element, so it's going to be absolutely disgusting. But you know what venue isn't disgusting? Exclamation point Outpost in chat. I run an RTT at the end of the month. There's air conditioning, windows, air, fresh air, doors, etc. So you can come to the Outpost. I'm running an event at the end of this month. I'm running an event in August as well, which should be really exciting. And I'd love to see you there. I thought some Dutch guy had convinced you to run a 40k team event. They tried. They definitely tried. So I'm going to my first team event this weekend, and it is a WTC event, essentially. It's got its own rules pack, but everything in the rules pack refers to you to reference the WTC event, obviously the World Team Championships. Now, I've never fully agreed with the World Team Championships, especially in recent years, because they come out with weird rulings like this one. Howdy just caught word of the upcoming WTC FAQ, F and Q, where they rule that plague marines will be able to use a plague and -1 toughness against units they shoot using their infusion rule. Surely because it doesn't specify you need to have the Death Guard army keyword across the whole army like it does with Nagel's Gift. What do we think of this ruling? So, if you don't know, I don't know if I have a screenshot of the rule. Let me have a look. Can I pull this up on my phone? Do I have Death Guard unlocked? Plague Marines. I do. And do I have a picture of the army rule? Because I have to do this like this now. Because I have to be like legally correct. Okay, I can pull it up. So basically, chat, when you are playing Chaos Space Marines as part of the army building function, you can add any cult battle line unit, i.e. Plague Marines, Berserkers, Rubrics, etc., into your list, and they become part of the army. Okay, they become part of the army, and they act like Chaos Space Marine units. They don't have dark packs, but they also don't have their own army rules because you're not playing that army. You know, now Plague Marines have an interesting rule. As you can see, the Plague Marine rules is they have Nagel's Gift Aura, which is the faction ability, where it says infused with Blessings of Nagel. In your shooting phase, each time this unit is selected to shoot, after this unit is shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the start of the next turn, that enemy unit is afflicted. Now, obviously, afflicted means they are -1 toughness and they are -1 save, OC, or -1 to hit, because obviously that's how Death Guard's army rule works. Now, how does it work in total? Obviously, you have Nagel's Gift Aura, which is an aura ability, which is the faction rule. You know, if your army is Death Guard, you get the contagion range, and this is obviously the contagion ability. Nagel's Gift Aura is exclusively, allegedly, according to WTC, the contagion range. But they've also part of this same box, this same rule, afflicted is like a status effect, okay? During the declared battle formation step, select one of the plagues below. To the end of the battle, one enemy is afflicted. Subtract one from the toughness characteristics and models in that unit, and that unit has the effect of your chosen plague. So, in the app, all this is one box. In the codex, I think it's 2 separate rules. Like afflicted as a condition is one rule, and then the contagion range is another rule, and I think that's why it's come up. Because what they've basically said is because it sends out afflicted via this, which is not the faction ability, which it doesn't have, they've said that it actually gets it, which I think's hilarious. What I think's actually hilarious. So I don't always agree with what comes out of WTC. I think some of their rulings are very sus. But I'm hopefully going to be able to tell you a little bit more about the team event next week. But it does mean I won't be streaming the game this Friday. That's mostly why I'm bringing it up. But it should be pretty fun. We're actually sending 2 Hellstorm teams. We're sending the A team, which is me. We've got Andy Tech Dad, Big C, me, and Niall, which should be fun. And then we have Hellstorm B team, which is Deck Null, Papaya, Jamartin, and Mercenary. Now, I've actually never been a captain, and again, I've never played a 40k event. I've played an Old World event, Old World team event, I've played a bunch of Age of Sigmar team events, but I've never played a 40k one, surprisingly. So I'm excited to go and try it out. You know, put my money where my mouth is. And have a great time, you know what I mean? I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be very fun. I'm not expecting to do mega well, but I have got 1,000 subs, so no pressure to me. No pressure to me, bro. But speaking of, obviously, I've just been talking about Best Coast Pairings. This is all leading up to UKTC terrain that we're going to be talking about. Last week, you might remember, on stream on the Monday, I was talking a lot about Best Coast Pairings. You know, if you go back to oldyoutube.com, go to live. I was talking about Best Coast Pairings. I was saying they wanted to boycott Best Coast. Ignore the video. They want to boycott Best Coast Pairings. That was last week's stream. A lot of people were talking about the problems with Best Coast Pairings, and it's coming up a lot more. Like there's been quite a few posts similar to this one. Question to you is, what's the main point? What's the main pain point, of migrating away from BCP? Because there's a lot more people quite annoyed with BCP right now. I do need my tab backs, one sec. There's a lot of people quite annoyed with BCP because of stuff like this. A website called 40k-event-tracker.nux.dev was a free 40k event tracker that posted army lists publicly. And now it doesn't, you know? This is like events, essentially. You can scroll down and you can like the winners of each event. You can probably click on them and look at all the lists. Oh, hey, that's my website. Oh, really? Oh, brilliant. It says, sad news, friends. Like many other tools, 40k event tracker has been banned. List will no longer be updated. The site and any list fets before the ban will stay up for a month, then be shut down. I recommend people consider using alternate tournament apps that don't lock community data behind paywalls. Get in touch with your local tiers and ask them to consider switching. Check out open alternatives like Tabletop Herald. Now, obviously, like last week, we were talking about the fact that Best Coast Pairings charges for to access like lists and stuff like that from previous events. It's free at the point of use if you're just using it to play games and play tournaments. But as soon as you want to look at other events or look around and look at winning lists, etc., it costs. It costs $40 a year or $50 a year or whatever. Now, obviously, we know that Games Workshop is heavily in the bed with Best Coast Pairings, which I don't have a huge problem with. You know, I don't have a huge problem with, but when you go on Best Coast Pairings, when it tells you to log in, it says log in or log in with my Warhammer. You know, they are a heavy, let's call it heavy partner, because we don't know the official standing. By the way, chat, the time's about to run out. Timer! It's about to run out! We're like 5 away from a giveaway, bro! No! The timer's dead, bro.
Mikey!
Is it going to register?
Super chat £5.
I don't think it did.
Choose the meta. View the list.
Ah, Papaya, thank you for the 5, dude. Thank you for the 5. You were so close. You were so close. Where was I? Thank you, mate. Really appreciate you. You're a fucking lad. Also, the thing I use in my car, and it's been in there ever since. I will have it with me. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so like BCP, heavily in bed, heavily partnerships with Games Workshop, and then now we're starting to see let's say, lack of a better term, legal action, you know. Is it all legal? Is it like a little like heavily worded letter? I don't know, but we're going to put inverted commas legal action against other websites such as 40k events, a 40k event tracker, because essentially, let's pretend I don't know the person who runs this website is watching. Whilst I don't agree with what Best Coast Pairings do a lot, you know, especially if they're going to start rate limiting, they were just like bypassing the paywall to let people see it free. You know what I mean? They're essentially, this website bypasses Best Coast Pairings paywall to be able to let people look at lists for free. You can just jump on, you can see meta stats, you can do whatever. You know what I mean? You can just see any list, or could see any list for free. And there's a few websites like this. And again, whilst I don't fully agree with what Best Coast Pairings does, it is a bypass. You know, it is a bypass. Don't forget that. So I'm not surprised it's happened. However, there's lots and lots of people starting to talk about it, and let's start to bring it up on Reddit. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't small posts. 54 comments, 85 comments. What does the community want in an alternative to BCP? To preface, I'm new to 40k, but follow a lot of discussions in here and have friends with a competitive scene, so I am somewhat aware of the pros and cons of BCP and the recent shuttering of websites that were grabbing their data. I have zero website app programming skills, but a few friends have always offered to teach me / partake in building something. So someone's offering to build one, you know what I mean? Like the previous one we were just talking about, there's lots of people recommending other stuff. There's also this one, tawnykeeper.net. They're offering to sell it. You know, they're trying to sell the website, which I believe is, like, again, a pretty similar thing of, you know, events happening in mainly Europe, but it feels like a lot of the tournament software has come from. But they're like literally offering to sell it to someone, and it costs $200 a year to run. Tony Keeper is ancient. Yeah, but they're literally just like, they're offering to sell it on Warhammer Competitive, which is interesting. So there's a lot of talk about like what software people want or should use for pairing systems in general. Just in general, that's what definitely the conversation for the past couple of weeks, and like people wanting to find an alternative, but also like saying every tier doesn't want to. Now, that's cheaper than a trip to the vet on a Sunday, bro. Bro. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. But anyway, when I spoke about like Tabletop Herald on stream, we were having a little look around, and I didn't totally vibe from it, but they actually left a comment which got blocked because they have a Discord. They put a link and I left it up. But I'll tell you what the comment says. It says, "Hi, my name is Mars. I'm part of Tabletop Herald development team." I zoomed in too much and now I can't find the comment. We are a small team based in Germany. We have quite a different approach to develop Tabletop Herald as a community tool. We do a lot of communication with the Herald community about improvements, new features, bugs, and a roadmap. Sorry, I need a little drink. Watching how you struggle to find our price, help me realise that we need to strengthen our marketing skills. Herald is free. We believe that community created content should always be free. Stuff like viewing lists, creating attended tournaments will always be free. However, we want to strengthen our community by offering top features. By doing so for long term, we're happy to get some support in which we integrate a pay what you want model for extra features. We got a lot of very positive feedback to provide lots of features for a better experience on and around the tournament day. For example, beam of view, don't know what that is, but fine. Pin games, proper team and league modes, pairing settings per round, pairing preview, free list, external pairing preceding, tournament results via API and or CSV. And if you want to know more about what we could do, just PM me, or we can join our community. We can also find our roadmap. So that was like direct from one of the developers. We were looking at Herald. I was like, how much does it cost? And I couldn't find anything, but it is actually supposedly free. Now, I'd be very interested in what they're going to add as like a paid feature. Beam of view. I don't know what beam of view is. It might be a tournament circuit thing or whatever. I don't know what that is personally. Tournament results via API or CSV is very interesting, because if I was streaming an event, it was run by Tabletop Herald, sorry. That might be information I can pull out on a live stream. That'd be so sick. Like live updating scores, you know, like, oh, let's check on table 17. We can pull up the score on screen. There it is. There's the score. So that's interesting. And the thing is with it is like best coast pairings and like alternatives to best coast pairings is like a conversation that's coming up a lot recently. But I would say that like as a tournament organizer myself, the main pain points of running a tournament with software is that fucking, I don't know what to call them, Luddites maybe. The average wargamer is getting younger, which is great because they know how to use phones. But there are some people who just don't want to use a phone, and they just refuse to like get on board with it, you know. It's like super annoying. It's super annoying. Like it's like trying to like help your mum do something on her phone or on her computer, and then she's got to do it 3 days later and she forgets, so she rings you rather than trying to do it herself. Not talking out of experience. There's people that are just fucking lazy and they can't be bothered. They're like, oh well, you do it for me, Mikey. And it's like, so having multiple apps at once is a problem. That's one of the pain points I would see about moving like scoring software. Is like one of the pain points is I don't want to have to make people download a new app. I don't want people to have to sign up for a new account, because trying to get them onto BCP for like, as we saw, for literally like 8 years now, I've been running events like seven or 8 years. It's been a pain in the ass to get it that far. So to get people onto a different app, that's just going to be even more painful, because BCP is so widely used. A lot of people just be like, why isn't it on BCP? You know, and I've also had that. I've played events around the world. I've played at events where BCP is the main thing, and then people are like, oh, we're using fucking Pun or whatever. Like when I was in the Netherlands, they're like, we're using Pun, we're not using BCP. And I was like, why the fuck are you using Pun? Use BCP, you loser. You know? So I as a player find it annoying when other events use different pairing systems, because I've already got one and it's one that's widely used, and that's an issue. And until there's a humongous like real fallout, I don't think people will move over. That's a pain issue. It's like trying to get people, like, why do I want to download another app on my phone for 40k pairing when I can play with BCP at a different event? You know, that's going to be the first problem. The second problem is, like, just user interface. It's more confusing. And third, no, I think that's it. Lazy. Don't want to have to sign up for another account. And just, like, ease of use, you know? Pun in Netherlands was because they developed it themselves and they couldn't include their crazy painting / sportsmanship points into BCP. I totally understand why, but it was just like, it's just annoying. You know what I mean? As like a player. There used to be a BCP TO app as well. Both were good. Yeah, the TO app and the normal app were pretty good on the iPhone. On the Android, they weren't very good. The website is a bit rubbish. It's very functional, BCP at this point, I would say. This is why no one quit Twitter. Yeah, well, I did. Kind of. I scroll it like once a week now. That's about it. But yeah, like, people are like set in their ways, like trying to set up new social medias. Like, people just don't want to, you know? People don't want to set up a new social media. They don't want to download a new app. They don't want to like sign up for a new account. They want what they know. It's why everyone still scrolls Instagram every day. Why everyone scrolls Twitter every day, etc. You know, it's just like, people are lazy. And I understand. I totally get it, because I can't be bothered either. I personally, at the point of use, I don't want to sign up for another account for another app. You know what I mean? It's just like, signing up for another account to run another app to try and the idea of trying to get loads of people, like, let's say I'm running a 150 man event, trying to get 150 people to sign up for a new account because it's the first time we've ever used it. And if not everyone does it, everyone's not doing it all at once, then it's just going to be absolutely awful trying to get people to sign up, you know? So if you're watching and you're a tournament software developer and you're like, why isn't Mikey using our software and still using BCP? That's the main problem. BCP is like the go-to. It's like Reddit is awful, but everyone's been using it for years. That's why people still go. Twitter's awful, but everyone's been using it for years. That's why people still go. You know? It's just people are creatures of habit. They want everything to change and they want nothing to change all at the same time. They want everything to change and they want it to remain the same, you know? I hope BCP will give Judo the data to balance the game. At least that's the cope. I do think that Games Workshop and BCP have been in bed together for a lot longer than it's publicly shown. I think that's very obvious, considering BCP at every major Games Workshop event, and they manage like registration and stuff like that. It's not a it's not like Games Workshop is suddenly working BCP. They've been at every event for years now. So yeah, so BCP conversation, still a big conversation. We were on it kind of early, I would say. It's like this week it's kind of blown up on Reddit. You have to present people with a more convenient alternative. No, Mahu, I totally agree, mate. Totally agree. But trying to present that is difficult. You know? Like, I could go, we have a really good scoring system that's way better than BCP. And then people are going to be like, where'd I put my list? Can't find it on BCP. You know? Still see people using Battlescribe despite the fact that it's basically not functional anymore and there are like 4 good alternatives. Yeah, literally. Remember the fucking Battlescribe fallout? Let me pull it up. I'm going to have to go to Twitter. I'm going to have to go to Twitter for this one. Excuse me. Battlescribe. I made a video about Battlescribe like 3 years ago. Oh. I don't know what website I just clicked on there. That was not YouTube, I spelled it wrong. Yeah, I made a video about Battlescribe 2 or 3 years ago.
How's it going?
9th edition Mikey, look at the beard.
Guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'll
Chat, 9th edition beer. 9th edition beer. 9th edition beard, sorry. 2022. 2022, 3 years ago. Homeless. Homeless. Look at me now. What a fucking... I look like Deck. No, Deck looks like me. I'm older than him. 2022. August. Battlescribe got took off the App Store. It got removed, and then he brought it back. And if you look at his fucking tweets, right? August 2022, I put the video out, which means it happened early August. When it was still mobbing time, it was. Where is it? Where is it? Right. DMCA 2020. All right, DMCA 2020. And then August 25th, well, this is embarrassing. Apparently, an expired credit card caused my iOS developer account to go down for a bit, meaning the app couldn't be reached in the App Store. It should be back up and running now / soon. And then in others, I've been quiet around here for a bit, but don't worry, I am alive. Battlescribe is alive. I just need to take some personal time. Expect maintenance release on all platforms soon to keep things ticking over. But it's not all down to me. I've been experimenting with and researching new technology to ensure Battlescribe is future-proof. This is work that has been sorely needed for a long time. It's a huge job. There's still a lot to do. Okay. Update. I read the data author statement because there was a big fallout with the authors saying that, like, he's never updated it ever. Okay. Catching up on email paperwork. This is within, like, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 3 weeks, let's say. 3 weeks after it all happened. Tweeting almost hourly. Gets involved with the community a bit. Okay, we've been a month. A month. All right, it was September. And then fucking just stopped tweeting after that. Just stopped a month of a month of like, guys, it definitely wasn't the fact that my money was dried up. I'm definitely developing the app. And then he tweeted for a month and then dropped it. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah, guys, don't worry, I'm working on it. I'm tweeting every day. I've been playing Monkey Island. Guys, please pay for Battlescribe. So yeah, it's fucking dead. But people, yeah, like you say, people still fucking use it, bro. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Why do people still use this app? What they do, they submit lists with Battlescribe. I could probably scroll through the team event going to this weekend and find someone that's fucking streaming, adding a list with Battlescribe of all things. One day deck will replace biking, none of us will notice. Probably at the start of 11th, just expect a lot of anti-knights content. Friendship with deck is over anyway, said I was a liar earlier. There are no Battlescribe lists. Listen, you're not kind of understanding my point. You're not understanding my point. It's still widely used. Hey, Jaffe, how you doing, bud? Even that registered a codex, just using the 40k app list build is so easy. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. You don't need the app, but it's just annoying to look at rules when you are building lists. You kind of need to look at the rules. Anyway, small tangent there about apps, but yeah, tournament apps, fucking pain in the ass, that's for sure. Speaking of tournaments, remember we slacked off the 40k app list build in the beginning? Yeah, it's dog shit. I made a video about that as well. It was shit. It was shit. I jokingly said, look, the new 10th edition app that actually works, and I showed a screenshot of BCP, a Battlescribe. Did you see Mikey's Chaos Knights review? I basically ghost wrote it. I had someone on my stream talking about it after. This is the thing with YouTube, right? It's very funny.
How's it going, guys? Well,
fucking hell. Get off my screen, you disgusting human. I'm talking about myself. It's so funny because you can go on YouTube, right? I could talk about the Chaos Knights review. I could talk about what happened on Reddit with all the points, okay? With all the points on screen, and start talking about the fact that you can run 6 Chaos Knights in a list, right? With the numbers on screen, by the way. And I can still be told I'm fucking wrong. Mikey, you can't fit 6 knights into an army. The only way you can do that is the abominant. You can't have more than 3 of those. Isn't that... I fucking sometimes love and hate YouTube at the same time. I've been on this platform for too long because I fucking hate it a lot of the time. I can literally show all the numbers of the alleged points for Chaos Knights, because I don't actually know. They're from a Reddit post. I can have all the points from Chaos Knights and be like, yo guys, with these points you can put 6 large Imperial Chaos Knights into a list. Large frames, you don't need any War Dogs. You can run 3 Abominants and then any 3 other Knight. They're basically... And I can still have the comment that's fucking telling me I'm wrong until I'm like, no, if you do the maths, it's 1980. I love YouTube. I love YouTube so much. I just wanted to rant a little bit because I don't know what puts it in someone's head that, like, I can sit here, show what I'm talking about on screen, reference what I'm talking about on screen, prove it on screen, and then be told I'm wrong. Fair play, they cop to it in their response. But why would you not go, how does he do that? How does he get the maths on that? Surely there must be a way. Or maybe if you listen to what I'm saying in the fucking video, that you'd realise that I could fucking do it because they fucking showed it in the fucking stream. I can't remember what I was going to look at now. Going the blue gold paint debacle. Yeah. Yeah. Where was I? Anyway, chat. Anyway, chat. Busy to know it all these days. I'm literally that on screen, bro. Maggie, you're wrong. YouTube comments aren't like that. When do we start talking about the team event? I've talked about it. What do you mean? I said, oh, you're literally wrong because no rampages. Yeah, I literally said you were wrong as well. We can go through our matrix together. You can have a look at my matrix next week. I can't really talk about something that's not happened yet. But what has happened, speaking of tournaments, is you might notice that sometimes we play on this tournament terrain. This is a UKTC terrain. Not the, let's get my biases out of the way, not the biggest fan of UKTC either. Anything with TC in the name just seems to rub you up the wrong way, alright? However, don't mind the terrain, alright? And this terrain is one of the most used terrain in the UK. In the UK especially, because obviously there is the UKTC that uses this terrain everywhere. You know, they use this terrain at every event. But then every other event known to man for some reason decides to also use this terrain. We use it, but only one of the 5 tables. 1 per 5, hardly ever going to hit it. But when you do, you might like it. But it's very commonly used. It's used like pretty much every event in the UK uses it. It's mega cringe that everyone uses it, to be honest, in my opinion, but there we go. That's why I run events with 5 types of terrain. However, yesterday, granted, they put out a beta map pack update for 10.2, 10.5, 11, 10.9, or whatever we're going to... 10.6, let's call it. Because obviously we've got a new mission deck, we've got new missions, in inverted commas, because they are all the fucking same. But they put out a new map pack for every round with totally new layouts. Now you'll notice a lot of the terrain is going to look like this in the old pack, okay? It's like big L in the corner to hold your objective, little L's in the middle with this sometimes together, this little ruin and stuff like that, and then like medium ones dotted around. However, they've updated it, and this is round 1. This is terraform, and then sweeping engagements layouts. So obviously we've got the large L's in the middle. We've got the medium one here, and we've got a medium one holding the home objective. And then we've got the little ones hugging their objective in the middle and a staging point here. So these are the new digital layouts for the map pack. So we're going to have to do some imagination. This is the terrain we're talking about. So all of these pieces are on here. Now, I respect the hustle of trying to change it up, because UKTC has basically used very similar layouts for the past 2 years. But I hate this layout. I absolutely hate this layout. So this question, how/why did things like UKTC manage to justify this when GU now puts out official layouts? Well, jokes aside, like jokes aside, the most obvious answer is variety. People don't just want to play on GUI layouts because it gets very samey. Hence, I use 5 types of terrain. However, the reason that UKTC uses this and people go to UKTC has the biggest events and most consistent, even if the bar is pretty low, let's say. But also, they bought all of this in 8th edition. So they're just rehashed. They've been using the same terrain and slowly adding, removing, changing stuff since that edition, since they bought it. You remember Foamgate? Do you remember LGT? LGT, was it Wembley? Was it Wembley or Millennium Dome or whatever? Remember this? Remember this? West Ham, that was it. This was obviously many years ago. Oh, I just realised I'm not showing my screen. Remember this? This is obviously many years ago. But fundamentally, the terrain is the same. 2 large 12-inch squares. And then smaller ones. Now, this, like, fundamentally was essentially prototype, but this is what they had at a tournament in London. But essentially, once they'd had this shit show, they rebranded to UKTC rather than LGT, even though it's the same guy running it. They made a deal with TT Combat and started making more terrain, you know? But yeah, fundamentally, the terrain is exactly the same. And they just keep using it because they bought it, you know? They have like 500 odd tables of it, so that's why they use it. Now again, I respect the hustle of trying to change up the terrain to mix it up so it's not the same, because really this big L is probably always going to be here, like this. You know what I mean? Truly, terrain is the best example of flavor sacrifice at the altar of balance and convenience. But if you just look at this terrain, I think it's just a little crazy how open it is. Because I can stand here and see straight down there and basically see most of this objective. Okay, I can't draw straight lines either, you know. You can stand here and see straight down here, for example. But also, like, the stage into the middle is crazy. Because, like, you could deploy, like, a really good shooting unit here. Turn 1, move it into here. Or move it behind here. Move it behind here. Okay. And then turn 2, put it in here, or stand it on top. And then when you're stood on this, you have line of sight to, like, every part of the board. You could draw a line of sight to almost every part of the board. Just from this one L. You know what I mean? Like, from this one ruin, this is how much line of sight you have. Like, this objective, completely open from this ruin. This one's blocked, and this one's half blocked, you know? You can see straight down there. Whoever gets around the corner first and doesn't get shot to bits. Yeah, literally. Literally. Scout, move, advanced storm surge into your deployment is back. Yeah, if you had a fucking storm surge here, right? Scout it 6. Let's do it properly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your storm surge is here. Advance. How far can it advance? 12? No, it moves 8, right? So let's say 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A storm surge is here, turn 1. You can see straight to that objective. You can see straight down there, bro. You can just see everything. And it's got a grid system, so you can truly see where it should land. The L-shape ruin plague is why indirect can't ever truly go away. Yeah. The thing is with it is they make L's and then add more L's to make it an L. You know what I mean? Like, this is just an insane L shape. That's all this is. It's just huge. Just tap a building Titanic. Yeah, to be fair, you could just go from, like, here, and then scout 6, and then scout 8, and then you can see. You don't even need to go past it. You can just land here. You can see into here. See all of this. You can basically see this as line of sight. Just for ref. By standing something big here. You know. Like, you can see, obviously, all this way. You can't see behind here, but that's it. But you can see all of this. You can see into this ruin as well. Because of where you're stood. Because you're Titanic. Yeah, you put a fucking storm surge or something stupid here. Scout 6. Move 8 with a advance, so move in 14. You literally stood here. If you get a fucking storm surge here, you can see everything on the board almost. Again, this is the section you can hide. Granted, you can't see past there. Granted, you can't see past there, but you could always just fucking go like this. You know, plonk it here instead. I'm drawing 2 lines. From here, turn 1, you could land it there, I think. As I bring 2, yeah, to cover your ass. But you could scout 1 and advance this. Play this on stream Friday with Big C, see if you can take me in turn 1. No, I don't want to, thanks. But you land here, you can see fucking everything just up to there, you know what I mean? You can't see in this ruin. Alright, okay, cool, that's one ruin. You can't see in this one. Actually, you don't need, doesn't matter, because you can see everything past there. You can't hide a unit behind there. You can't hide a unit in here. So I was looking at this and I was like, that looks very open, but also for if you do go first and you're a combat army and you don't have a scouting storm surge, you deploy a unit here, it moves here, and then it charges there. And that's basically the tactic every time you play this board. That is the only tactic you can do this on this board. And I wonder, because they're touching in GW rules, if a ruin is touching another ruin by a flat side, it becomes one piece like this. The one piece. You know? Like, this becomes one ruin. So as soon as you stand in here, you can be seen over there. I don't know. I'm not sure. I haven't read the pack. But let's say we'll play nice and we'll say no, it doesn't. But yeah, like every combat army is just going to stage in here, then charge across. So all you do is you just don't deploy in this ruin ever. don't two ruins on that, fine. Are you saying I'm wrong, Des? Even though I said I'm not sure. Are you doing it again? But yeah, it seems a bit weird. And again, like I said, respect the hustle. I respect the hustle of trying to change it up. But I'm just not a mega fan of this. I think if these ruins were in the middle, it'd be a little bit better. Because they're a bit higher. You can't stand on top of them and just see through them. But it's the fact... Oh. It's the fact that you can just touch this and then see over it a lot of the time with Titanic. Especially with Chaos Knights becoming quite good because they've got a new codex. They're going to be very popular just to run here, touch here, and see this way. And you'd have to respect the hustle if it's poo. Yeah, I'm trying to be polite. I'm trying to be polite. I don't like it. Anyway, round 2. This one is Purge the Foe. Same issue. Same issue. Plonk something big here. Plonk something... Oh, my fucking brush is all fucked. Plonk something big here. Can see fucking everything. They don't just rotated it. Yeah, they did. They just literally turned it 90 degree. It's 90 degree. I'm super surprised at the angle of these, I think. And even the type of terrain. You know? Again, if it was the large L, you could have something like that. Like something like that, which is suddenly... Not that. Not that. Suddenly very different because it's hard to get an angle through, you know? You can do one of these directions. That was not quite the right direction. Like that. Swap these two buildings around, to be honest. This one seems crazy, especially Purge the Foe, because this is just kill each other. The home objective is at least nicely covered, you know? But again, you could just stand here. You could deploy something here and see straight down there. You know? You can deploy in your deployment zone and probably see a lot of shit. But then as soon as you deploy, let's say you deploy Riptide here, let's just use a tower example, and move it here. You know? I don't know. I don't think it takes rocket science to realize that maybe these are quite open and that they are only going to be favorable to shooting armies going first. You know? Like, if you look at like a GW map, let's bring one up. Let's bring one up. Like I said, I like variety. I don't think everyone should just run Games Workshop map packs. I think that would be very boring. I would get very fed up very quickly if everybody ran Games Workshop layouts. However, you know, if you're trying to think of a layout that actually works for the deployment type. Layout 3? Well, what deployment type is this one? Crucible. 1, 2, 4, or 6. Let's just bring up number 2. No, let's bring up number 4. Let's bring up number 1. Even layout 1. Let's bring it up. Okay. This is Games Workshop layout 1. Designed for the same terrain tournament. Deployment type. God damn it. Let me draw the deployment on. Very rough, chat. Let me off. Very rough. Right, okay. I probably should have put this next to it. Probably should have put something next to it. If you deploy here and move forwards, there's a ruin in the way. That makes a huge difference. That makes a huge difference. Just putting that little thing there. But also, if that wasn't there, there is a thin gap, but it's just not quite as much. And even if you did deploy here, you've got to go around a building to land here. And then, yeah, you can't fucking get past because there's something in the way. Now, granted, the issue with this layout is like different terrain types, because if they go search and destroy, like so, you go first, you've got search and destroy, the corner one, and then you deploy and you're like, right, I'm going to stage in here, I'm going to put my shit in here and hide. They can just go, yeah, I can see you now. I can see that way and kill you. Granted. But if we just look at the same recommended layout, and just do the same tactic, it just doesn't work. Which is why having different types of terrain is super important, chat. I keep saying it, no one listens. I was like, that's my favourite. It's like, yes, because your army's good on it. But as a balanced terrain example, it's very important to have balanced terrain. You shouldn't have a favourite terrain set. You should just be able to deal with the terrain set, because it changes how the game functionally works. But being able to deploy something here, let's say we've got a storm surge as another example. We scout 6. We advance 14. Right, okay. I can see all the way up there now. I can see all the way up there. You can hide here. You can hide in this box, and you can probably hide that much. And you can hide in here. That is it. That is the only place you can hide on this board. If you go second to something stupid. Anyway, round 3. Round 3. Anyone spot the problem with this one? Except every fucking terrain piece is open. This one, you do actually have places to hide. Granted, this one, you do have places to hide. Okay, very cool, very epic. Well, they just went, this is the search and destroy deployment. The 2 objectives are wide open. Now, doing scouting, then advancing, Emperor's Children Rhino, 21-inch zoomers. Yeah, fucking put rhinos on here. It's crazy. You can hold objective in here and in here, but they're awful for, like, getting angles to it. You know what I mean? This is your opponent's expansion objective, and by expansion objective, I mean the objective that your opponent wants to play for. Now, normally, you want to play for this one. If you deploy here, you want to go for this one, and you can hold it from the inside of this terrain piece, you know? But the problem is your opponent doesn't have that far to go to see most of the terrain and most of the objective, and then they also don't have that far to go to be able to see inside. I mean, it's not crazy. It's quite close. The middle ones, though, you just can't hold at all. The middle ones you can't hold at all. This is great for shooting armies and custodians exclusively, but these ones just completely wide open. Now, you don't always want a hard corner. You know, I'm not saying we should have 2 L's here every time. I'm not saying they should be this far over or whatever. But something to hide behind would be good. Wide open in the middle is crazy. So let's move to round 4. Round 4. It is just a mirror image of round 1. It's a mirror image of round 1. Almost. Just 3 big knights on them. Yeah, true. And then round 5, it's the same as round 3. It's literally the same, but there's one less objective. So, I think... Well, so we can all say, we can laugh here and go, UKTC cringe. Whatever. Like, I don't like playing Warhammer in a gym hall all the time. I like a bit more pizzazz. However, I do think this is a bit of a problem with GW not having enough variety in terrain types, that we are just in a world where elves are king, because it's the only way to play Warhammer. because the game is too lethal to not have this much terrain, and this much terrain is not enough. This needs more terrain, you know? And it needs to be done. This terrain piece has and always it will be bad. This is way too big. It's way too big. You can hide loads of stuff in it, but it's just like it's either got to live in the corner or it's in the way, you know? What changes will you make to UKTC event at your events? I won't. I'll just follow. I'll just like follow along. You know what I mean? And I'd be like, if you don't like it, unlucky. This is what they use. I could design my own terrain for it, but like, the point being is you can't. Why it's not up to me to fix their problem. You know what I mean? I could change it. I think the old design, the old layouts are perfectly serviceable. They're pretty predictable now, but they work perfectly fine. You could continue playing with those. You know what I mean? As if you go to All Stars events and we have all our map packs here. Like this one is like a really good layout. It's very similar, but it works. Obviously, it's for the old one because it only came out last night. Excuse me. But if you look, like, even just that, right? Let's look at the difference of these two, right? So this is the new one. This is the old one, as of previous 10th edition, Pariah Nexus. If we do the same trick with the Storm Surge, you deploy a Storm Surge here. Thank you. Scout 6, Advance 14. Okay, can't see much that way and can't see a great deal that way. As just a little bit of an example because of the direction the L's are, you know, and the positioning of them. So honestly, if I was gonna fix UKTC for them, I'd just use these. I just use these. This is the old one. You know what I mean? Just think about everything we just spoke about, and the issue is that the L's are going the wrong way. I'm not sure why. They could go the other way because it's just a square. It's just a square. It could go the other way. I think it'd be interesting if you flip this. You know? Can we do it on here? Oh, that's not select. What if you just flipped it? How do you flip on paint? Flip. Horizontal. Imagine that was there like that. You know? Or even there. Obviously, you have to move this one out of the way. That one should be up here. And that one, and this little one could be back here. You can just adjust it like that. So you can deploy behind this. But now free reign. Anyway, it's not my job to fix it for him. So yeah, so if I really wanted to fix it though, if I was like, hey guys, this terrain shit, I'm gonna fix it. I just use this one because it's way better. You know, same for round 2 because they are. I think they're using the same missions. Oh, they're not using. Oh, they never use the ritual. I did. So round 2, purge the foe. You know, it's just like completely different. You just don't have the same problems. You kind of do there a little bit, but at least you can hide. You got a lot to hide here and here and here. Whereas here, it's like you only have this and a little bit here. And it's just like hopefully that's like a visual representation of just like how crazy these are compared. And again, like I said, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to mix it up, but I just don't think this is the right way. I don't think putting the big L's in the middle of every map is a good idea. Because the things with it is UKTC has been criticised for, or the terrain set has been criticised for favouring shooting armies. So they've basically gone, right, okay, hold my beer and just put the big L's on the deployment zone or in the middle of the board as a way to counter it. I just don't think that's the right way forward. Make it like doors and windows in menu sounds like a bit posh to me. Yeah, literally. Literally. It's a broader topic. What do you do about terrain if not L shapes? So this is literally like, what's the meaning to life type question. The 40k competitive question that is equivalent to the meaning of life is, what do we do about L-shaped terrain? Now U-shapes are an interesting one. Games Workshop does recommend using U-shapes. Jokes aside, let me try and pull it up. Do I have it on there? No. Can I close it? No. They do recommend using U-shapes as an example. Like, they have U-shapes and they work quite well, but there's just two L's banged together. Let's be honest. I just think variety in terrain is like crucial. Like, and I think fundamentally, as I've always said, this is not something new that, or like fundamentally new that I've said before, is that terrain on a board, the terrain that we have now, L shapes, footprints, etc., is a band-aid to the problem with 40k that it's way too killy too quick. You think about every other game that Games Workshop plays, or makes, sorry, not plays, we play, every other Games Workshop game we play, terrain is nowhere as impactful as 40k. It's nowhere near as impactful. And the reason is because 40k is super killy, so you have to be able to hide turn one, you know? You have to be able to hide turn one, you have to be able to maneuver the board whilst in cover, because you just get shot and die. And like on one hand, like, oh, Space Marines have rocket guns, so of course they'll kill you if they see you. But on the other hand, it's like super difficult, because it's like a patch. It's kind of like a patch to how to fix 40k and make 40k playable is to have fucking loads of ruins that you can't see through, you know? So the idea of footprints, like Games Workshop recommending all these footprints, is not because footprints are the way to fix Warhammer. It's because footprints are very easy to put out, and then you can put any terrain on them. They just recommend what you should put on them, you know? Like, when I first started using Games Workshop terrain, we used to have all the old footprints, and we used to put tape on the footprints, and we used to say the tape is where the wall is, and then we used to try and make stuff that was like almost the right shape, almost the right height, almost the right color, you know what I mean? And we used to use that to be like, this is where the wall should be, so that's like blocks line of sight. Because what it is, it's a very easy way for, if you don't have a lot of money, is to get some pieces of paper, cut out the footprints, put on some tape where the L's are, colour it in with a Sharpie, you've got yourself a table of terrain, you know? And what it is, it's like, it's recommendation, it's not telling you what you can or should do. And yeah, it's not really to be like, everyone should play with a piece of paper with lines on it, don't get me wrong. That's not really what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, it's kind of like you can put anything on here. So it is, you know, credit where credit's due, a very, very accessible terrain. You know, that's what footprints are, accessible terrain. And it makes the terrain that they have, the rules that are written for terrain, work completely, because without it, it doesn't work, you know? But like I said, you could get a piece of paper, you know, this notepad I've got, very kindly given to me by Georgie, is, let's have a look, how far long across? It's 6 inches across, as you can see. And then, how long? 6. It's like 11 inches long. So literally, this notebook that I've just realised is almost a footprint for 40k. So all I need to do is get a Sharpie. All right. Get a Sharpie. Because bearing in mind, just if you don't know, these ones are 12 by 6. These ones are 10 by 5. These ones are 6 by 4 in terms of inches. Wait for that dude for... he said I couldn't measure. Yeah, literally, 1 second. Right, chat. Very badly done because I'm not a teacher. I can't draw like this. Right, I'm going to do it again. Chat, I'm not a teacher. Excuse me. Look at that. I got myself a ruin. There it is. There it is, chat. I've just made a ruin. Simple as that. Don't tell me 40k terrain's not accessible. I just did it in 3 seconds. It's only an inch short. It's only an inch. It won't make that much of a difference if you use those. But then if I'm like, oh, I don't have anything that I could use, maybe I could use, I don't know, like some tin cans. You know, put them on or whatever. Okay, you guess what it is yet? Yeah, literally. Get your old video cassettes out and use those, DVD boxes, etc. However, the point is like, footprints are a band-aid to a problem with 40k being too killy. What do I want to see changed? Would love to be able to fight over a battlefield that looks slightly different. And I think footprints are a good way to make that, but they're functionally, no matter what you put on the footprints, they're always a ruin. And it'd be nice to see something else, like some other rules that could work. I don't know what that is yet, though. I don't know what, like... I don't know what that could be. I don't know what the answer is. We need a less killy game. We need terrain that does something different. But currently, if you make terrain different, then you can see through it and you can get shot and you just die. However, this fucking terrain set, this terrain idea is dumb and I hate it. This terrain set idea is dumb and I hate it. It doesn't help that GD really use ruins in their layouts when they have rules for several terrain types. Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate there's a delay, but it's kind of what I've just said, right? It's the other type of terrain doesn't help the game because the game is too killy. So you need to be able to hide. That's why L shapes are king, because they are the easiest to make and easiest to hide behind. Bearing in mind, L-shaped ruins are so popular because it's literally two pieces that just stick together like that. That's why it's very popular. It's very easy. But then any other terrain type is more expensive to make, annoying, whatever. Outside of that, ignoring that, it doesn't help you survive. it doesn't stop you being seen. It doesn't stop you being like, it doesn't defend you at all or anything like that. And it's like, that's ultimately the issue, is that like you need L shapes because they're easiest to hide behind and they are the most forgiving to hide behind. You say fucking put a forest down. Let's say this isn't a ruin, it's a forest, you know? It's a forest base. I have loads of forest bases from WTC, you know what I mean? It's a forest base, okay? Right, it's huge to get across. You have to deploy here to hide. Let's say blocks line of sight. You know? You have to hide behind. I'll do them in blue. I'll do the building in red. They can be green. You got a huge forest you hide behind. All right. Now you got to get in it. What are the rules for being in it? Can you see through? Is it block line of sight completely? Does it block line of sight completely, or does it like kind of like a room where it's got a footprint? You know what I mean? As soon as you're in it, you can be seen. Now you got to get out of it. Right, cool, I'm out of it. I'm in the middle of nowhere. What's the best thing about an L shape? I can be right behind it, and then I can just appear on the other side. One movement. You know what I mean? Because I don't think there's an easy answer, to be honest. I don't think there's like an easy answer. L shapes are really easy to hide behind. Like, I think someone just said like a circle. Imagine a circle building. That'd be crazy. You know what I mean? Let's have a circle building. Right, you're going to hug behind it like this. Right, you can be... Let's say this L isn't there. You can be seen here. You can be seen here because you can't hide behind it. Make that an L. Right, cool. Now I can't be seen this way. I can be seen this way. You know? Everyone finds L's boring. I totally agree. L's are boring, but they're really easy to play with. Like, as a player, they're easy to understand and easy to play with. Oop. Bring back Pringle can silos. The thing is with it, it's on GW terrain. If you've got, like, a fucking footprint, it doesn't matter what you use on it, you know? I think that's way more fun. I like L's because that's what happens to me when we play. Well, the trick is, chat, is they're not always L's. Sometimes they're backwards L's. You know what I mean? L. L. Not an L. It's backwards. Remember the empty spray can silos I had at Alliance Open? They were nice, to be fair. Joe? Bro, CJ gave me loads of those. I only recently threw them away. Bring back non-symmetrical deployment and make a choice of side important again. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll have this side. And then you have this side where there's no ruins in it. What do you mean you can't choose? Okay, well, I just roll a 6, you roll the 1. I'm going to deploy on this side. You can have the first turn. You can move to this objective. My army appears and kills you. That's why there's asymmetrical sides. There's non-asymmetrical sides, sorry. The key to a successful event is to have multiple terrain types, and no one type of army isn't favored. I totally agree. I totally agree. Exclamation point events, exclamation point shop in chat. Come along to one of my events at the end of the month, an RTT, and then we've got one in August as well. It should be really fun. It should be really, really fun. It's going to be a good time. There's 5 types of terrain. We will be using this one, and you might dodge it. You might dodge it, bro. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's what we're around about terrain in UKTC. It seems to come up every 3 months. I've just got some fucking other bitchiness to do about terrain. Because terrain is cringe. Remove all the ruins and change reinforcement rules to allow armies to come in 1/3 at a time each round. Can't get table just off the table. See, that's a fun rule. But people won't like it. They'll be like, I hate that one because I want all my army on the board all the time. You know? On Jab, we were using WTC terrain this weekend. WTC's alright. I do think Games Workshop layout is actually my favourite. Because I like the footprints and the things with WTC, I think there's too many big L's on it. Which just isn't needed until you play a flyer. But WTC's alright. The terrain is decent. I've not got many complaints, but it's very much like a combat focused board with some interesting armies that can play around it. I don't like the fact that WTC terrain has heavy, medium, and light, and it only changes the terrain on the footprints. It doesn't actually change the layout. I think that's a bit weird. That's my only gripe with WTC is like changing the terrain on the footprints, not changing the layout. But this will always be peak Warhammer. This will always be peak. Never forget it. This is what you're buying into when you buy UKTC. This is what they started with. Roxy Wars is the real table. Joke aside, I actually think that was come on a long way. I'm concerned WTC terrain is going to ruin my weekend. That and my inability to play the game to a competent standard. I wonder. I love it's by the toilets as well. Yeah, literally set up for success, that one. Oh my god, what? I'll give you oh my god. Chat, I might stream a bit of Night Rain over on twitch.tv/Hellstormwargaming. UKTC are going to be using the 18-inch rain twist every round. Yo, bro, the layout's fixed. The layout's actually perfect. It's actually perfect. I can't believe it. That's what they're going to do. They're going to have an 18-inch twist. So yeah, so I'm going to jump over on Twitch to do exclusively twitch.tv. in a couple of minutes. I'm just going to pop downstairs, grab a drink and stuff like that, grab a top up, give Inky his eye drops because he's a fucking idiot, and scratch his eyeball out. And we're going to play some Night Rain on Twitch. So if anyone plays Night Rain, let us know. I'm not playing with Deathwatch tonight. He insulted me earlier. I might have to do solo runs. Chat. So I'm going to jump over there. So you're watching on YouTube. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be over on twitch.tv/Hellstormwargaming. /multi multi in chat. And we're going to go and jump over now. I'm just going to go quickly sort out the cat and stuff like that. No hit solo runs with Guardian. Excellent. So jump over if you haven't already. I'm going to be multi-streaming over there right now. I'm going to end the stream here. I'd really appreciate it if you jumped over. And otherwise, thanks for watching. And I'll catch you on Wednesday for the morning show. Appreciate you.